Now, I don't know how delusional you got to be buying this right-wing propaganda BS, but it almost seems like it's too easy for the propagandists at this point because they're not even trying. This is a segment from Fox News, and they have political scientists, Kid Rock. He's not it? Oh, what is he again? Yeah, well, guess we got to hear what he has to say about it.
Let's face it, they do not care about crime. In fact, it's all a big joke to them.
This is J.B. Pritzker reporting from war-torn Chicago. As you can see, there's utter mayhem and chaos on the ground. It's quite disturbing. The Milwaukee Brewers have come in to attack our Chicago Cubs. We've seen people being forced to eat hot dogs with ketchup on them. And our deep dish pizza, well, has gone shallow. So it's a challenge to survive here in the city of Chicago, but there's no hellscape that I'd rather be in.
5 people were killed, 25 hurt in Chicago shootings just last weekend. A child was found shot to death at a park on the south side on Wednesday, but that's how the governor's reacting.
Okay. So keep in mind, this is in response to Trump sending military officers to the city of Chicago against the will of the governor there. The states' rights crowd just I don't know how they're so silent on this, but I guess it's okay to send unidentifiable federal agents over state lines to detain people against the governor of that state's will. Guess that's normal, right? That's what his little joke, and I thought it was kind of funny. I like using humor as a way to kind of like bring the temperature down a little bit on this sort of stuff. But the way that they respond to it, of course, is if everybody's dying. So let's take a look at some of the news just recently from a hyper red city, Oklahoma City. Let's see what's going on over there. Let's see if they got anything happening that maybe Trump could send his military force, since they apparently all need it so bad. But it seems to be only the ones that are blue. Kind of weird. It's almost as if a fascist president is just using a military force that he has to go and terrorize people that didn't vote for him. I don't know. But let's check out some what's going on in Oklahoma City. Okay. So all I did was Google Oklahoma City shooting, right? And it said man injured in weekend shooting at OKC gas station dies. Well, there's some violence right there. I guess that needs a military force. Police seek leads in fatal shooting on Northeast 23rd Street, Oklahoma City. Guess we need some military force there for that. Oklahoma City police respond to incident involving firearm near a school bus. What? Man, we need military force. We need some military force in this city. Why isn't Trump doing that? Why isn't he doing that? It's weird. The other thing that's happened recently, Trump basically designated me and everybody that's just, on the left, pretty much, just in general, as terrorists. That's right. And if you're not a Christian or are critical of Christian beliefs or quote unquote family values or anything like that, you're a terrorist. Yeah, so that was one thing. And then he's designated Antifa a terrorist organization. They're not terrorists, nor are they an organization, but they're a terrorist organization. It doesn't matter, right? None of this matters. If Trump says it, it's got to be true, right?
During that same show, Jimmy Kimmel tried to claim that Antifa is something that conservatives just made up.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone.
Here with me, rock legend, Kid Rock.
What rock legend? Okay.
Hey, Bobby, great to see you. Now, I know you're from Detroit, of course, which at one point was...
Well, that's just Mike Lindell dressed up like Kid Rock. What the hell?
At the epicenter of the crime epidemic. But what's your thinking when you see Pritzker and others on the left who are just dismissing this issue that real people have to live with day in and day out?
The Antifa thing? real people have to live with the Antifa being a terrorist organization, even though they're not terrorists nor are they an organization?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is idiots.
Funny, because that was like the first thing that came to my mind when I saw you, what you're wearing right now.
Straight up idiots. I mean, I don't think there's actually anything that President Trump could do that these people, when he said it, in that speech that he had, I don't know, it was like a State of the Union or something, where he's like, he could save one of these people's mother from a burning building, and they could care less. They wouldn't give him credit. I mean, it's asinine to think that we can't come together on some certain things. And you know what really strikes me about this, speaking of Chicago, is like, who's he really trying to help out here? Black people. The south side of Chicago.
Trump is trying to help out black people. Are you kidding me?
Predominantly black. These are where these murders and shootings are taking place. The majority of them. They're not out in the suburbs or somewhere.
Man, yeah. And I'm sure you got to bring that up for a reason that you just want to help help black people. That's what it is. You just that's why you're bringing up where all the shooting happens in the city.
And he wants to help these people.
Jesus.
And God forbid we're still all, Nazi racists or whatever their narrative of the day is. It's
okay. Are you fucking kidding me? They dropped people off, dropped their officers off of a helicopter onto a building where there was nothing going on other than just normal Chicago people being there. And they sectioned the people off by race. They had all the black people go over here, and they handcuffed a bunch of black Americans. They made all the brown people go over here. They handcuffed a bunch of brown Americans. They had kids. They were handcuffing kids, some of which were naked. And but they're just there to protect the black community. Really, they're not there to terrorize specifically the black community. They're there to help them as they're beating them up and handcuffing them for nothing, for doing nothing, for just being there, just being in a building that they have designated an Antifa hotspot. The Antifa is just going to be the Hamas now. That's what this is. Trump wants to be able to do the Hamas thing. He wants to be able to go, there was Hamas in there. There was Antifa in there. We got to blow it up. Hey, we got to blow up the Chicago hospital. Sorry. There were some Antifas in there. Yep, a couple of them. Blow up the hospital. Hey, what else you got to do? What else you got to do? What's almost kind of ironic is that Kid Rock seems to think that the Fox News audience wants to believe that Trump actually is trying to help the black community. Probably shouldn't have said that. Probably got some hate mail for that one. Probably like, oh no, what are we supposed to give a shit about the black community? Do you know what we are as the Fox News audience, right? Like, we don't like them, right? They're there for us to not like, right? We've been programmed to not like those specific people. Kid Rock is out here like, Trump's trying to help the black community. Like, he better not be. He better not be. That's why I voted for him to not help the black community. I don't know. It's like they don't even know their own audience. They're still trying. It's so funny with like a little bit of humanity kind of like accidentally slips through their bullshit propaganda. Yeah, sometimes they forget and then just say stuff that they don't mean to say.
It's asinine. It's completely it's some words that I'd rather not repeat on the air right now.
Because you're a good Christian, right? You're a good Christian person. Oh, wait.
Well, they're constantly mocking the things that are, sacred, important to many Americans. So
yeah, Donald Trump never does that to anybody. In fact, nobody on the right does. Yeah, we brought back the R word, right? You want to talk about mocking things that are sacred? Really?
Things that you sing about, you've spoken about, faith, family, love of country, important to your fans. So have you noticed any type of shift with young people on this front? I know you interact with so many young people on a daily basis, especially when you're touring.
Yeah, it's love of country until, a Democrat is in charge. Then it's a communist takeover. We got to fight against the government's just, overreach. They're coming after you, trying to take your guns. Like, just every anti-government thing you can think of. And then anytime Trump is in power, they're like, love of country. It's one of the tenets of our belief system.
Have you seen any change?
I mean, clearly since Charlie Kirk lost his life, was assassinated, you've seen a huge shift. We all have. It's undeniable. It's both bittersweet. It's terrible that something like this had to happen to really bring everyone back to their faith and even someone like myself who's always been very spiritual, but you know, it's even more so in the last several weeks. It's just been, I find myself writing those songs, and I've been writing a gospel album for the last year.
No, sorry, just wanted to laugh at that.
Working on a gospel album, so it's not really anything new, but it's, yes, I have a lot of faith and hope in the younger generation, but it seems these other people, like, you know, the more that we say we love our families, we love God, we love our country, these people on the far left hate it more.
That's it. That's what we're mad about. You know, we're just mad that you're saying that you love your families, and we're like, what are you doing? How dare you? Nothing to do with, you know, the Gestapo that he's got sent out that are just disappearing people without any due process or anything like that. It's got nothing to do with the concentration camp they set up, the alligator Auschwitz. Like, none of that. None of that. It's just, they said they love their family, and we hate them for it.
I just don't understand the rationale of hatred for someone that loves something.
Yeah.
A gay guy loves another guy. You kind of, you tend to hate him for that, you know? So it's kind of weird to hear you say that. So it's like hating him for loving something. Yeah. It's kind of weird, right? Kind of feels stupid. It's almost as if like that's what you're actually doing, and then you're just claiming that the people on the other side are doing it. But
They make fun of Lee Greenwood or patriotic music or traditions like that. They think they're hokey and stupid. And
they are hokey and stupid. I mean, come on. Just can you speed it up a little bit? Add some electric guitars. Can you shout? Can you scream and yell over the music? Come on.
because they all think America's awful, rotten, and racist, so they don't think there's anything to celebrate. But
that's true. It's just called nuance. I know it's a thing you don't understand. Nuance.
Speaking of music,
yeah, that's pretty easy. You know what's stupid? You know what's stupid is
you're you right here, the Mike Lindell guy dressed up like a wannabe cowboy at a baseball game.
People who think they're cooler than Art Thou, that worry about their outfit every day, like some of these rock singers.
Are you making fun of yourself? Is this a bit? Are you doing a joke? This is self-deprecating humor right now, right?
That live here in Nashville, I won't say any names, or these, chicks running around.
Kid Rock, would that be the name? Is that the name that you're circling around?
On their campuses with blue hair and, their 5 nose rings.
Speaking of music,
yeah, they're braided hair. Wait, hold on. Shit. Wait, that's my bad. Hold on.
Music, though, I heard that you were just added to the Hondo Rodeo Fest in Phoenix next month.
Very, very cool.
Friends there were talking about it. They want to get tickets.
Good job there, Hondo.
Tell us more about what's going on there.
Well, it's actually bittersweet.
Everything's bittersweet, apparently. I think he just learned what bittersweet means or something.
Because Cody Johnson had to drop out. I guess he had something happen. He has to get surgery. So sent a lot of love and prayers out to Cody Johnson. I'm a big fan. And they called me to fill in for his slot, and I'm playing with my friend John Party that night, who's my neighbor, and I've been friends with for a long, long time. First time we're playing on a bill together.
So you were just like an afterthought, in other words. Like this tour was going to happen without you, but they're like, shit. One of the better people got sick. Oh, man. I guess we can call that Mike Lindell lookalike guy,
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, but it's bittersweet because Cody can't do it. Yes, the thing that I hope for, that I really pray for quite a bit, is that when this pendulum swings once again, that somehow it ends up a little bit right of center and not just, it just keeps going extreme left and extreme right, and it seems we just can't.
With that, they're throwing stuff at the cars. Who's going to speak up for the cars?
Find this common ground that, most of us, even if we differ in our politics, we should be able to.
It's like 8 people throwing stuff at cars. Wow. Look at that terrorist organization over there.
Dig a little deeper and find things we have in common with one another and have a laugh, have a beer or something. We don't have to make everything so extreme. So
then stop being so extreme. Are you serious right now? Jesus Christ. This is where it gets so irritating. Like the gaslighting is just phenomenal, right? It's just, we're the extreme ones. That's it. Yeah, on the left. Again, you have a like ICE Gestapo that is being sent by the president wearing masks. You can't tell who they are. any racist weirdo can go put on a mask and some gear that kind of looks like they're an ICE agent and go start kidnapping people, and nobody can do anything about it because you've basically set that as a precedent, saying that as long as they have the word ICE on their clothes, they can kidnap people, because we have no way of identifying them or keeping them, from kidnapping people. Pretty much, we need to be able to identify people when they're in law enforcement, dude. And this isn't like some undercover thing. Undercover agents don't have their faces covered. They have their face out. You just don't know who the person is that has that face. That's how undercover stuff works. But no, yeah, it's us being extreme. That's it. My God. It was like a whole shitload of people at the alligator Auschwitz just disappeared. They have no idea where they are. Have they already started doing the trenches thing? We need to check that place for some gassing rooms. What the fuck is going on? But yeah, we're extreme. That's it. Yeah. Could you imagine if the Democrats actually started to do stuff like this? Let's say Biden, you know what? No, let's say Mamdani. Yeah, let's say he becomes president, right? They would love that. And he just designates PDF files a terrorist group, right? And so we're going to go in and just start, without any due process, arresting anybody that we say is a PDF file because they're a terrorist organization, right? And we're going to go to the places where the most PDF files are. All the churches, all the Republican, CPAC, and then we're going to start cutting off the funds to PDF file organization funders, right? That fund the PDF files, right? And so, yeah, then we start going after that, and then just start arresting everybody and have no due process. Maybe we even just set up some camps, right, where it's mostly Republicans that get pushed into these camps without any due process. We just start deporting them all over the place, or just putting them in terrorist prisons and things like that. Yeah, how would they like that? Could you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot? They would lose their fucking minds. Anyway, why don't you smash that like button? If you like this kind of content, I'm Brentley. This is the Punk Apostate. And, I'm covering all sorts of stuff around here. A lot of times it's, reacting to Fundie stuff like Fundamentalist YouTube. But sometimes we talk about politics too. So also, if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, or you can do a bunch of this other crap, right? You can become a patron. You do a one-time payment on Cash App. You can become a member by hitting that join button. And you can email me at punkapostate@gmail.com. Let me know if I get anything wrong, or you want me to talk about anything more, or you got any suggestions or anything like that. You can also provide some suggestions in our Discord, and follow me on all the socials. All the links will be below. But the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we will see you next time.